Before we start the show, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Their support keeps this show free for you.
Your child has so much potential, but your local schools may not be right for them. Check out K-12. K-12-powered schools are accredited tuition-free online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. This is not your typical homeschooling. With state-certified teachers specially trained to teach online, your child will learn at their speed, at home, with innovative, engaging technology. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Power struggles don't have to destroy the relationship you share with your child. You can actually navigate them with connection. This is important because power struggles can deeply damage the connection that we share with our children. They can end in everyone feeling bad and things being hard to recover from. We might have to feel like we have to apologize. We might have to repair for how badly things have gone during a power struggle. Now, not that repair is bad and not that we shouldn't repair, but if a power struggle is ending in a place where we've done something that we don't feel like we wanted to do, or that we are acting in a way that is somehow not aligned with our parenting, we often want to repair, but we can avoid this altogether. We can avoid power struggles ending in a place where everyone feels as if they are losing. We can end in a place where everybody feels like we are winning. And power struggles are common. They're common currents. Everybody's going to have power struggles. You're going to have power struggles with your kids. You're going to have power struggles with your friends. You're going to have power struggles with your partners. But especially our children are looking for autonomy. They want to be in control of their own lives, and they live in a world where they have very little agency, and they live in lives where they're not able to make decisions for themselves. And so where they can have autonomy and agency, they push to do that. And it might not be in a place where it's easy for you. And so ending up in power struggles is totally common and normal. And children are not going to be little robots like we were expected to be, because the world is changing and children do have autonomy, and we are going to allow them this autonomy, but it might look a little bit more messy. And it might look messy because we want to behave in the ways in which we were parented. We want to come with authority and control instead of coming with connection. So don't let the power struggles erode your relationship. Learn how to navigate them with empathy and understanding and play. Let's turn these situations into a place of connection as opposed to a place of erosion. If we can understand that our children need this autonomy and we can work with them instead of against them, then we will show them that we are safe, that we are sturdy, that we love them unconditionally, even when they're trying to assert themselves. So let me tell you a little story about a client. I have a client who has a son who loves to say no. He says no sounds really good coming out of his mouth. Now, this sweet kid has been diagnosed with severe ADHD and ODD. And if you're not familiar with ODD, it's oppositional defiant disorder. And sometimes ADHD and ODD go together. And a lot of kids who have ADHD end up presenting with some sort of ODD. So this desire to be defiant, basically.
Before we continue, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Their support lets us keep bringing you the show completely free. Are you a mom who feels like you're juggling it all, but something just feels off? It could also be your hormones causing this chaos. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. Now, here's the beauty of adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. That's why Hormone Harmony is perfect for women of all ages who are struggling with life-disrupting symptoms such as PMS, like irritability, moodiness, discomfort, or uncontrollable cravings, and menopause, with symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. The results are impressive. There are over 40,000 reviews on their website. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. So for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code PEACE. Check out happymammoth.com. Use the code PEACE for 15% off today.
Your child has so much potential, but your local schools may not be right for them. Check out K-12. K-12 powered schools are accredited tuition-free online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. This is not your typical homeschooling. With state-certified teachers specially trained to teach online, your child will learn at their speed, at home, with innovative, engaging technology. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Okay, let's get back to the show.
So last week, my client was struggling to get her son to put his laundry in the laundry bin. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does. And if it isn't the laundry, it's something else. And he had an entire floor full of clothes. I mean, it was cluttered. She sent me a picture. It was cluttered. It was everywhere. And she had been asking him on repeat, have you ever done this? Please put your clothes in the bin. Can you please put your clothes in the bin? I'm not going to be able to wash the clothes unless you get them in the bin. I thought we decided that the clothes should go in the bin. I mean, over and over, and saying it all different ways, and only making herself more angry and upset by the moment. And by the time that she and I got down, we were able to sit down and speak about it, she was beyond annoyed. She was being ignored, which pinged for her being ignored as a child, not being listened to as a child, not being respected as a child, not being able to have her own autonomy as a child. So her anger began to rise. And I could see that she was dealing with this narrative inside her head of her child who was ungrateful, who was rude, who was disrespectful. And he had no idea what it means to clean up your room. He had no respect. But this was the narrative that was running through her mind from her own childhood, because she had a mother who was super clean, who required her to do everything. Nothing could be out of place. And if you did, and if something was amiss, you would be punished. You would be banished to your room. You would be chastised. You would be yelled at. And so in her mind, her child was doing something very wrong. He was acting in a way that was ungrateful, that was disrespectful. But then we began to reframe things. And I made a nod to her own childhood and that maybe that could be where this was coming from. We had to get to an idea of connection. We had to help her unravel this power struggle using connection. What we realized is that it wasn't really about the power struggle. It was more about the expectation. She had an expectation running in her mind from her own childhood where she expected her kid to be super clean and her kid to do as she asked the first time and to quote unquote listen. But she has a child who has ODD. And if you are demanding with a child who has ODD, they are going to resist. Any child is going to resist, not any child, but many children will resist demands, right? Many children will push against demands. Some will comply, but there's a sector of kids who will push against demands. And if you're doing this work, more and more you will get a child who pushes against demands, as they should. It's developmentally appropriate. Who in their right mind wants to clean up a bunch of clothes on the floor? I don't. Does the 9-year-old boy? Probably not either. And is it a realistic request to get him to clean up everything by just saying, you need to do this, you've got to clean it up, I told you, or threatening or bribing or yelling? Probably not going to happen. So the other piece we had to really rework was this idea that it's normal that a child doesn't want to put the laundry in there. Did you want to put the laundry in there as a kid? Of course you didn't. And so he's not being a jerk. He's just acting like a normal 9-year-old kid. And this kid, especially with ODD, has a very distinct idea about doing what he wants to do and doing it of his own will. So here's what we did to unravel the struggle. I asked her if she could turn it into a game, if she could use the bin as a basketball hoop and assign points each time that he got one in. Then I asked her, okay, why don't you hold the bin and make sure that he gets all of them in so he feels like he's winning, and he's getting the points so that he wants to. And then can you try to do it and you miss and you're the buffoon and you're the idiot and you can't do it? Now we've turned a power struggle into connection. We've reversed this whole idea that it needs to be this struggle between the parent and the child, and we actually turned it into something connective because we used play. Now, we had to be realistic. Are we going to expect him to put every single piece of laundry into the bin? Maybe not. And would that be okay? And are we okay with that? And could we grab the last few pieces left and put them in? He's 9. He's still learning. But we're not getting to a place of disconnection. We're getting to a place of connection and play. And guess what? She went home and did it, and it worked. Was it perfect? No. At first, he didn't want to do it. And then he didn't do all of it. And she accidentally got one in, and he was mad. But overall, it worked. And even if it wasn't perfect, it didn't get to a place where everyone was yelling and screaming at each other. So I hope this is helpful. If you want more ideas around communicating with your kids, you could listen to the episode, What to Do When Your Child Says, I Hate You. You can find the link in my show notes, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Thanks for listening to the Peace and Parenting Podcast.
Your child has so much potential, but your local schools may not be right for them. Check out K-12. K-12 powered schools are accredited tuition-free online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. This is not your typical homeschooling. With state-certified teachers specially trained to teach online, your child will learn at their speed, at home, with innovative, engaging technology. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Hey there, Peace and Parenting family. If you love the podcast but wish to enjoy it without interruptions, your wish has come true. Introducing the ad-free version of the Peace and Parenting podcast, available exclusively on Apple Podcast. As a subscriber, you'll get all the heartfelt advice, parenting stories, and actionable tips you love without any ads. For less than the cost of a coffee each month, you will enjoy uninterrupted listening while also supporting our work to help you build stronger connections with your kids. Try it out for free. Simply find Peace and Parenting on Apple Podcasts, click Try Free, and you'll gain immediate access to our ad-free episodes. There's no commitment and you can cancel anytime. So if you're ready for a more peaceful, uninterrupted listening experience, subscribe now. Let's keep focusing on connection without the distractions.